During the latter stages of my adolescence, my curiosity took a profound turn as I delved passionately into the realm of trip reports. These online narratives unveiled the captivating and multifaceted world of individuals, recounting their journeys with psychedelic substances such as LSD and psilocybin. These stories were like windows into alternate dimensions, each one distinct in its narrative tapestry. Some of these chronicles painted vivid tableaus of euphoria, imbued with joyous escapades and uproarious laughter that leaped off the screen and into my imagination. They were like technicolor dreams manifesting in words, sparking a sense of exhilaration that was almost palpable. On the flip side, there were accounts that plunged into the depths of nightmarish terrains, evoking an intense sense of foreboding. These harrowing tales etched their trauma onto the pages, leaving a lingering chill that clung to the reader's souls. The stories whispered cautionary tales of the shadowy aspects of altered consciousness, casting long and unsettling shadows across the minds of those who ventured to explore them. One evening, bathed in the silvery glow of the moon, I stumbled upon a tale that pierced through the tapestry of the ordinary. It spoke of a substance hitherto unknown to my ears, one that possessed effects so chillingly captivating that they etched themselves indelibly upon my consciousness. This narrative that transported me to the late 1990s in Sweden, a time when the internet was but a fledgling entity, far from the all-encompassing encyclopedia of information it is today. In this bygone era, a young man stumbled upon an enigmatic tidbit from the recesses of obscurity, the revelation that a humble plant adorning his mother's abode might harbor psychedelic properties when ingested. Fueled by curiosity, and unburdened by the caution of the digital age, he ventured forth and consumed a dose of this botanical enigma. As the chronicle unfurled, shivers cascaded down my spine like icy rivulets. The young man's narrative was a descent into an abyss of sensory distortion, where the very fabric of his reality unraveled into a grainy, nightmarish tableau. He found himself trapped in an eerie fusion of his everyday existence and a phantasmagoric hell. His vision warped and contorted, rendering the world around him a disorienting maelstrom. In this altered state, he communed with spectral miniature beings that existed solely within the confines of his own psyche. Surreal menageries of creatures, untethered by the laws of nature, surged forth from the walls, blurring the line between the corporeal and the spectral. The passage of time in this nightmarish odyssey stretched interminably, ensnaring the young man in its agonizing grasp for nearly 2 full days, during which he was suspended between the realms of the real and the surreal, an unwitting explorer of the dark and enigmatic frontiers of the mind. Welcome to the Screaming Room. Datura, a genus comprising 9 to 12 species of nocturnally blooming plants, is a part of the nightshade family, scientifically known as Solanaceae. The term Datura finds its origins in Hindi, where it means thornapple. This name, in turn, traces its roots back to Sanskrit, signifying white thornapple, particularly referring to the Datura metel variety found in Asia. These plants are commonly referred to as thornapples or jimsonweeds, but are also known as devil's trumpets. It's important not to confuse them with angel's trumpets, which belong to the closely related genus Brugmansia. Other English names include moonflower, devil's weed, and hell's bells. All species within the Datura genus are highly toxic, with particular emphasis on their seeds and flowers, which contain potent toxins. Ingesting these parts can lead to severe health complications such as respiratory depression, irregular heartbeats, fever, delirium, hallucinations, anticholinergic syndrome, psychosis, and in the most extreme cases, death. Interestingly, throughout history, some groups have not only recognized Datura's toxic properties, but have also harnessed its psychoactive potential. These plants have occasionally been used as hallucinogens, often associated with practices like witchcraft, sorcery, and similar mystical traditions across various cultures, including the Western world. In specific Native American communities, certain Datura species have been ritually consumed as entheogens for spiritual purposes. However, it's important to note that non-psychoactive uses of Datura plants typically revolve around medicinal applications, with species containing alkaloids like scopolamine and atropine, which have long-standing traditional uses in both the New and Old worlds for their medicinal properties. These plants have been employed for their therapeutic benefits in various cultures and continue to hold significance in herbal medicine. Datura plants, across their various species, consistently contain tropane alkaloids, such as scopolamine and atropine. These compounds have endowed Datura with a dark historical reputation, as it has been employed as a potent poison in certain cultures for centuries. The level of toxicity within a particular Datura plant is influenced by several factors, including its age, the environmental conditions in which it grows, and the local climate. These inherent variations render Datura an exceptionally perilous substance to experiment with, especially for recreational purposes. There is mounting evidence that the chronic use of Datura, as well as other anticholinergic drugs, may significantly heighten the risk of developing dementia. This underlines the grave consequences that can arise from the misuse or long-term exposure to substances within this botanical family. In traditional cultures, a deep well of experience and intricate understanding of Datura was essential to prevent harm. Unfortunately, as we transitioned into modern times, numerous tragic incidents have emerged from individuals ingesting or smoking Datura. For instance, during the 1990s and 2000s, the American media documented distressing stories involving adolescents and young adults intentionally consuming Datura, leading to fatal consequences or severe illnesses. Incidents of deliberate or accidental poisoning linked to the smoking of jimsonweed and related species have also been reported, underscoring the grave risks associated with the reckless use of these plants. In certain regions of Europe and India, Datura has had a chilling history as a popular choice for both suicide and murder. To illustrate the extent of its impact, between 1950 and 1965, the state chemical laboratories in Agra, India, undertook a staggering investigation into 2,778 fatalities attributed to Datura ingestion. Remarkably, the infamous group known as the Thugs, practitioners of Thuggee, were reportedly affiliated with an Indian religious cult comprising robbers and assassins. In their sinister rituals devoted to the Hindu goddess Kali, they would employ Datura in numerous poisonings. This deadly plant served a dual purpose for them, inducing drowsiness or stupefaction in their victims, thus making the act of strangulation a chillingly efficient and horrifyingly sinister practice. Datura, known for its potent, deliriant properties, characterized by a significant or absolute inability to distinguish reality from fantasy. The array of effects includes surreal and often bizarre thoughts, heightened body temperature, rapid heartbeat, peculiar and potentially aggressive behavior, parched skin and mouth, vivid illusions, and intense dilated pupils. This dilation leads to excruciating sensitivity to light, causing painful photophobia that can persist for several days. Other common experiences during Datura intoxication encompass muscle stiffness, difficulty urinating, temporary paralysis, disrobing, emotional numbness, feelings of extreme discomfort, and overwhelming confusion. Pronounced amnesia is also frequently reported, further contributing to the disorienting nature of the experience. Symptoms typically manifest approximately 30 to 60 minutes after ingestion and can endure for 24 to 48 hours. In more extreme cases, these effects may linger for as long as 2 weeks or even more. The vast majority of individuals who recount their encounters with Datura describe them as profoundly distressing, often posing significant mental and physical risks. Datura possesses a remarkable reliability in its ability to induce hallucinations, but these hallucinations are distinct from those triggered by substances such as LSD, magic mushrooms, DMT, or even salvia. While the latter substances alter the way we perceive visual and auditory sensory inputs, Datura takes us on a different journey altogether. Datura has the uncanny capacity to conjure entirely novel streams of information, seamlessly merging them with our everyday reality. In more technical terms, Datura is classified as a deliriant, a category of hallucinogens that induce a specific type of hallucination known as delirium. Delirium is characterized by a diminished awareness and a compromised ability to correctly interpret one's surroundings. The hallucinations induced by Datura are exceptionally potent and lifelike, making it nearly impossible for those under its influence to differentiate between their imagined experiences and the real world. Regrettably, the unsettling aspect of Datura-induced hallucinations is that they tend to veer toward nightmarish and disturbing terrains, casting a haunting shadow over the experiences of those who dare to delve into its enigmatic effects. I want to relay excerpts from the harrowing accounts recounted by individuals who have ventured into the nightmarish realm of Datura. These online narratives provide us with a glimpse into the chilling experiences of those who have dared to explore this enigmatic substance. User Remarkable T 3717 from Reddit, and I quote, "I was in bed when I woke up in another dimension. I saw thousands upon thousands of dead bodies stacked up on one and another going through into the sky, screaming lots of screaming bloody screams, and blood was stained onto the walls of brownness. And that's really all I recall until I woke up with a horrible headache and the doctors telling me I'll be okay." Another horrifying story comes from user someone's alt 123 from Reddit, and I quote, "I remember watching TV. I don't remember the show, but there are bugs all over the walls. The man in the corner won't stop staring at me. I'm hearing whispers from the kitchen. I try to sleep. I can't relax over the breathing coming from the foot of my bed. I can feel its breath. Itching. Lots of itching. Can't sleep. I'm dying. I've died multiple times already and I'm going to die again. I hope this is the last time. I walk outside. It's daytime. There's a girl talking to me. She looks dead. She tells me I'm next. I snap out of it, back in my room. She's standing in front of me. Huge bugs everywhere. None of this seems to bother me anymore. I have multiple more strange occurrences like this, but I don't remember them." These individuals are far from being isolated in their encounters with Datura. It is my earnest and emphatic recommendation that you steer clear of this plant, for the sake of your own mental well-being and sanity. Have you had any experience with this horrifying plant before? Please leave your stories and opinions in the comments. Thank you for watching.